this time we ask that you all please rise and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Or almost good afternoon. It's in about 5 minutes. It'll be afternoon. And welcome to Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts for the Northeast Regional American Legion Baseball Tournament. And I'm Steve Riley, and next to me is my friend Jim Vardalos, and we'll be doing this game between Southington, Connecticut, who are the runners-up in Connecticut, and the state champions of Vermont, the Brattleboro Post 5. And Jim, we've already got one team down into the losers bracket today. That's the Connecticut State champion, Stanford. They were just manhandled by the Rhode Island's Cumberland team.
Yeah, Riles, you know, that Rhode Island team really showing how diverse they are with the pitching of their guy, Cahoon.
Yep.
And, you know, just hitting the ball. We saw a 3-run home run, them able to get guys on and move them over. And this one will be interesting between Brattleboro, Rhode Island, and Southington, Connecticut. Southington, Connecticut played the state champs in Connecticut very close. And,
it certainly was close, right? I mean, it was 2-1 and 1-0 in the championship series, so you can't get much closer than that. They actually had the tying run on in the bottom of the 7th inning to try to tie it up in the 7th inning. In that final game where they lost to Stanford. Well, Stanford had a tough outing today. As we said, they lost already in a 6-inning mercy game by the score of 11-1. And Southington now will try to do a bit better against their Vermont counterpart. And for Southington, they'll be the visiting team today. They'll take the first base dugout, and for Brattleboro, Vermont, they'll be the home team, and they will have the third base dugout. Well, for Southington, they will lead it off with their left fielder, Sean Crean, and Jim, the rest of the Southington lineup.
Batting second, number 14, the third baseman, Jeremy Mercer. Batting third, number 21, the DH, Kyle Leifert. Batting fourth, number 7, the catcher, Josh Panarella. Batting fifth, number 19, the second baseman, Ethan McDonough. Batting sixth, number 13, the first baseman, Anish Avancha. Batting seventh, number 17, the right fielder, Brendan Kavanaugh. Batting eighth, number 8, the shortstop, Jake Romano. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 2, Brandon Cole.
Well, on the mound for Brattleboro, Vermont's Post 5 is Adam Newton. Behind the plate catching the balls and strikes this afternoon will be Daniel Petrie. Down at third base is Jack Pattison. Tyler Milovich is at short. Jeremy Rounds is at second. Hunter Beebe at first base. Christopher Frost is out there in left field. Jack Price in center. And Christian Thompson out there in right. So we're ready to go here in the second game of the Northeast Regional Tournament. There's a ground ball between short and second. Shortstop gets it. That's Milovich. Long throw to first. They don't get him.
Yeah, and if you're this Vermont team, you cannot let Crean get on the bases. We've seen him in the Super Regionals in Connecticut. He's got speed. Even going down the first base line, it looked like the shortstop kind of took his time. A lot of speed there.
Yep, they're calling that a base hit. So one guy up and one guy on base with a base hit for Southington is Sean Crean. As you said, Jim, he likes to run. He had He was the team leader in stolen bases for Southington this year. Had 5 of them in the tournament this year in Connecticut. There's a foul ball off by Jeremy Mercier, the third baseman. Connecticut's road to this field here today is a little bit different than Brattleboro, Vermont. Connecticut has to go into a sectional tournament. Then they have a super regional tournament. Then they have a championship series. And Southington had to survive it all. There's the ball up high. So it's a 1-1 now to Jeremy Mercier. Southington came out of a pod, they called them. They were 6 pods. And they were 6-0 coming out of pod C, I guess you could call it, as there's ball 2 up high to Mercier. They defeated Niantic, Berlin, and then RCP, which is Rocky Hill, Cromwell, and Portland. In the Super Regionals, they beat Waterford, Bristol, and then beat Waterford again. And in the championship series, they lost 2-1 and 1-0 to the champion Stanford. As their strike 2 is to Jeremy Mercier. Brattleboro, Vermont, if I'm not mistaken, Jim, they have basically one giant league. And the victor out of there becomes the champion. Crean is off and running, swing and a miss. And does Crean get there? Yes, he does. They're saying he's safe.
Just barely got his hand in there, but that'll be a K for Mercier.
So with 1 out, Southington now has a runner on second base, and up comes Kyle Leifert, designated hitter. These Connecticut young men are switching over from all wood bats in the state of Connecticut to now batting with their BB Core aluminum. They can use a wooden bat if they so choose, or a BB Core wooden bat, composite. Slide step pitch, cut on and missed by Kyle Leifert. Leifert in the tournament led the team, in the Connecticut tournament, led the team with a .400 batting average. 4 doubles. And here's the pitch up high. Count is even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Beautiful ballpark here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field, where it's a big field. You can see the highway up on top.
Yeah, and even during that little break, we got a little showers.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And a hit batter. Yeah, you're right to say ooh. They don't call it a hard ball for nothing. Is now Southington gets a runner on first and second, and up comes Josh Panarella. Well, we did see 2 balls go out of here today. One by Stanford and one by Cumberland, Rhode Island.
And if I know Panarella, you know, he's aiming for that hit me for a TV sign, Riles.
I know. Out left center, there's a sign out there. I can't really read it that much on top
Looks
of
like
it.
Percy's big screen
blast. Hit me for a TV. Oh, check swing. Goes back to the mound. The pitcher bobbles it. He'll have to hurry, and he throws to first, and it goes errant down the right field line. And Southington is ahead 1-0 in the ball. Here comes the second runner. The ball went all the way down the right field line.
Wow, and you just think,
and just like that, Southington's up 2-0.
The ball gets hit back to the pitcher, and you're thinking that might be a double play ball there, and you know.
Let's see if they're really going to count the error there. It's going to be an E1. But more importantly, it allowed 2 runners to score. And Southington has jumped out on top, 2-0 here in the top of the first. What a difference a game makes, right? I mean, you know, the opposite, Stanford this morning, it was the opposite. They just couldn't get anything going.
No, you're right.
And now in this game, Southington just gets a guy on by infield single. Batters hit, and he didn't get it out of the infield. They scored 2 runs. Ethan McDonough to the plate now. And the first pitch to Ethan is a high sky foul ball out of play on the right side. You said beautiful ballpark here. It's 385 straight center. And down the right field line, 313 right center, 378 closer to the scoreboard. Left field line, I don't see any numbers out there, but I assume it's about the same as right field. There's another foul ball out of play on the right side. Beautiful facility here at Hanover Insurance Park. It's the home of the Worcester Bravehearts. So I believe is an independent league team. You know, coming set is Adam Newton, and he slide steps and deals. There's cut on and tipped into the mid, but dropped by the catcher Petrie.
What a cool last name for a pitcher, though, Rouse. You know, you think of Newton, who came up with all those physics laws, and he's a pitcher throwing a baseball. little ironic.
Yeah, unless he gets hit over the head by an apple, I suppose. I mean, then it's not going to be too, or physics. Yeah, also the physics of an aluminum bat hitting it the other way, right? I mean, he's going to try to get the physics of a breaking ball, perhaps. He kicks high and deals. Curveball. There's a ground ball, one hopper to the shortstop. Over to second for one. Back to first is a high throw. It won't be any advancement because there's not a lot of space there past first base. It did hit the stands and then came back in. So a fielder's choice by McDonough, and he's safe at first and scored that one 6-4. Fielder's choice. No harm on the overthrow.
First baseman number 13, Anish Avancha.
So with 2 outs, up comes the big, tall first baseman for Southington, Anish Avancha. Avancha in the tournament, Connecticut tournament, was a .250 hitter. Hits in that tournament, I tell you, the championship series were very, very few between the two teams, Southington and Stanford. One of them was a 2-1 ball game, the other one 1-0. As Adam Newton on the mound comes set now from the first base side of the rubber. And he slide steps, deals a fastball. It's scorched somewhere, pulled foul. Talk about being pulled
there's
foul.
A net there,
Yeah.
That thing was ripped.
Right down that net. They got the netting down all the way to the end of each dugout. I guess it's possible for a foul ball to go over the top of the net and come in here. It'd be a kind of a weird one to have to happen, but it's possible, I suppose. And here's the pitch. Popped up into shallow right center. Going after it's a second baseman, and he makes a running catch. Does Jeremy Rounds to end the threat in the top of the first. Well, for Southington, they come up with 2 big runs on only 1 hit. There was an error, and they left 1 runner on base. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first inning. Southington out to a quick 2-0 lead. Brattleboro, Vermont coming to bat.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
All right, welcome back to Hanover Insurance Park in this Northeast Regional Baseball Tournament of the American Legion. And now leading it off for the first time for Brattleboro, Vermont here in the bottom of the first inning will be Jeremy Rounds, and the rest of the lineup, Jim?
Batting second, number 12, the left fielder, Chris Frost. Batting third, number 15, the catcher, Dan Petrie. Petrie. Batting fourth, number 1, the shortstop, Tyler Milrick. Batting fifth, number 2, the pitcher, Adam Newton. Batting sixth, number 8, Jack Pattison, the third baseman. Batting seventh, number 11, Hunter Bebe. Batting eighth, number 23, Christian Thompson, the right fielder. Batting ninth, number 13, Jack Price, the center fielder.
Well, on the mound for Southington is Jason Krar. And his first pitch is in there for a strike, or rather a ball. Now it looks like it's hard to see in the scoreboard out there in right center, but it's 1 ball, 1 strike now to Jeremy Rounds, the second baseman. Krar going from the stretch, and he throws the ball down low, 2-1. Well, behind the plate is Josh Panarella. And he'll be catching the balls and strikes this afternoon. Down there at third, Jeremy Mercier. Jake Romano at short. At second is Ethan McDonough. There's a chopper foul. At first base, the big tall Anish Avancha. Sean Crean. We already met him when he scored that run in the first inning. Is out in left. In center, Brandon Cole. And in right, Brendan Cavanaugh. So it's now 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Rounds. There's a pitch check swing back into the netting. Carrar, I haven't seen him. I don't know about you, Jim.
I think I saw him pitch against Bristol.
Okay, he had pitched in only 1 game. That's outside. He had a 2.33 ERA. That's in the tournament in Connecticut. As the count is now full to the leadoff hitter here. Bat's a little unusual. Take a look at his hands, Jim. He sort of separates his hands just a little bit on his bat. Don't know if Vermont is a wood bat league or state rather, or if they allow aluminum throughout the entire season. But either way, 3-2. It's fouled into the netting again.
Yeah, and Rounds, you're just really fighting them off, and that always benefits the hitter.
Certainly does. Sooner or later, you'll see a ball. Carrar, a graduate of Southington High School this year. And he kicks and deals. There's a chopper up the middle. It'll be a tough play. Slow roller. Romano gets it on the run. He won't get him. An infield single for Jeremy Rounds. So both teams now leading it off the games with infield singles. And brings up Christopher Frost, the left fielder. Little bat from the left side. A lot of teams employ a left-handed batter in the 2 spot to try to move a runner around.
And you got that big hole on the right side now for the lefty.
Carrar, see if the runner goes. He doesn't. He kicks in. He starts the show bunt, pulls it back. Look like we'll see bunt now, I would imagine. Maybe. Either that or belt means steal. Neither one is a swing and a miss. So it's 0-2 now on the left-handed hitting Christopher Frost. There's a chopper towards second base. 2 hopper. They go to second for 1. Back to first, they won't get him as the speedy Frost burns his way down the first baseline. So scored that one a 4-6 fielder's choice, and that erases Rounds and leaves Frost at first. Dan Petrie comes up to the plate now. As he swings 2 aluminum bats and then tosses one of them away. Post 5 from Brattleboro, Vermont, the Vermont State Champions. Trying to get back in this game is Daniel Petrie. Takes his first look at Carrar, and he takes strike 1.
Frost really looking like he wanted to go there. He kind of stepped towards second, then turned back, hesitating.
He's got about a 3-step lead at first base, and he doesn't go. And there's the ball to the backstop. He won't have to worry about it as a wild pitch gets him down to second base now. Josh Panarella, the catcher from Southington, is a good one. The only player in the Northern Super Regionals to hit it out of Rotary Field in South Windsor. That one's a very deep field. Actually deeper than this field all the way around.
Yeah, 335 and left up a Rotary Field.
Yeah. And he bombed it out of the park. There's a line shot to the left fielder. Taking a couple steps back and fielding it is Sean Crean. So the St. Paul of Bristol product hauls that fly ball in. We've now got 2 outs. Let's see if Vermont tries to do something here with Tyler Milovich. Steps up to the plate now. Vermont in their maroon shirts And their striped socks. There's a ball inside, and pretty lead out there at second base by Frost. And there's the pitch. Nearly clips the shoulder. They're saying it did. I'll tell you, he was a little bit tight on that ball. If it was a strike, it was nearly a strike, but they call it a hit by a pitch, and Milovich is down at first base.
Pitcher number 2, Adam Newton.
Brings up the pitcher, Adam Newton. 2 outs. Bottom of the first, if you just joined us, Southington, on the basis of an error, scored 2 runs. There's a ground ball towards third baseman Mercier. He'll have to go to first, and he makes the long throw to Avance. And that'll do it here in the bottom of the first for Brattleboro. So Brattleboro, Vermont comes up with no runs. There was a hit. There were no errors, and they left 1 runner on base. We'll be right back with the top of the second inning. Southington leads it by the score of 2-0.
Pitches for Jason Kerr.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Well, Brendan Kavanaugh leads it off here in the top of the second inning for Southington, Connecticut's American Legion team. And he'll face Adam Newton for the first time. Southington leads it by the score of 2-0, and there's a foul ball into the screen.
Yeah, and I'm noticing, I'm pretty sure Pantanode was the second baseman during the Connecticut tournament.
You're correct.
It doesn't look like he's here today, and McDonough actually played right field during the tournament.
Yep, now he's at second base. Well, it could also be that maybe it's because their shortstop Romano is. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. There was a player who was ejected, right, from one of the teams. Or was that or is that the other team? I'm trying to mistake that. Yeah, that was. Yep, that was Stanford. Sorry about that. And here's the pitch, cut on and missed. Yeah, they mixed up their lineup that last game that they played against Stanford. They jostled the entire lineup from 4 down. Cut on and missed on a high fastball. Kavanaugh goes down swinging, second strikeout of the game for Newton. They switched him around. I mean, now Jake Romano used to be batting, I think, 5th or 4th, somewhere around there. And then they moved him down to 8th. And Brandon Cole, I believe, was the number 5 batter or 6 batter. They moved him down to 9th. So they were shuffling things around in that championship game, trying to create some offense. But it didn't really work much. They only scored 1 run in that game. So Romano swings and misses at strike 1. Newton from the first base side of the rubber. Curveball, hard smash, 1 hopper to the shortstop, who then lobs it up the line and makes the play, though. Nice stretch by Hunter Beebe at first base. And that's going to bring up the number 9 hitter for Southington with 2 outs. That's Brandon Cole.
Now batting the center fielder,
Cole
number 2,
only batted about 250 in the Connecticut tournament. Remember, though, the Connecticut tournament's all wood bats, so the averages tend to get lower with wooden bats. Usually less double plays and less batting averages for the players. First pitch to Cole, outside ball one, as it kicks up some of the dust or the white chalk from the batter's box on the left-hand side. And there's a foul ball out of play, straight back above our press box here. What a great field this is, and hope you can see that view of the entire field here.
Yeah, you can even see the highway in
Yeah,
left
you
field.
see the highway and left field out there. And
Football field and right.
yeah, beautiful ballpark. Way up high. Expecting it to curve, I believe, was Cole. When it didn't, it almost hit him in the helmet. I know that there has been someone who has knocked it out of here and hit it up on the highway once. That is a blast. Maybe it was Jose Canseco. I don't know. Here's a pitch, and it's inside ball four. So Cole is aboard. First walk of the game from Newton. Brings up the top of the order with Sean Crean.
Sean Crean.
Brandon Cole, down to first base, goes to Western New England University. It's on the other side of the state. Winoo, they call it? Yeah, Winoo. Who's we old?
It used to be Winnick, because it was Western.
And there goes the runner. And here's the throw down to second, not in time. And
it was a college, then they turned it to a university.
okay. So there's a stolen base for Cole, so Crean will have an RBI opportunity here. Usually your number 9 hitter is usually like another leadoff hitter. Usually has good foot speed. And with Newton's kick, it's a little easier to steal. It's tougher on the catcher. There's a swing and a miss from Crean.
Yeah, Rouse, and we know that when Crean starts pumping out hits and moving around the bases, that this Southington team is a lot different. So we'll see.
No doubt about it. He swings and misses at that. When we watched the Connecticut State Tournament, and we were broadcasting a lot of games up there at Rotary Field, he was constantly getting on base. But when they went to the championship series, he was struggling. Now, slide step, and swing and a miss, strike 3. So Crean goes down swinging, and the threat is erased. No runs, no hits, no errors. One runner left on base for Southington here in the top of the second. We're moving on to the bottom of 2. The score remains Southington 2, Brattleboro, Vermont 0.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Welcome back to Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts. This Northeast Regional American Legion Baseball Tournament.
Leading off the third baseman.
And we're now moving to the bottom of the second inning. Brattleboro, Vermont trailing by the slim score of 2-0. And up comes Jack Pattison now, the third baseman. And he takes ball 1 high. Jason Carr throws a strike on the inside part of the plate. Carr, 6'3", 185 pounds, out of Southington High School. Most of the players here are for Southington High. Some go to universities. A slow ground ball to short. He'll have to hurry, does Romano. He bare hands it. Will he have a chance? No. An infield single by Jack Pattison. Second infield single of the game for Brattleboro. You know, and it seems like that one almost sounded like if it was wood, it would have cracked the bat or something, the way that ball was hit.
That one
hit off
just dribbled all the way there.
Really almost no play by Romano.
Hey, Vermont getting 2 guys on. First inning, they got the leadoff guy on in this inning. See if they can get something done here.
Hunter Beebe steps up. He takes first pitch strike. You know, it's quite a ways when you think about it from Brattleboro, Vermont to get here. They come down 91. Right, and then there's a foul ball back into the screen. So they drive down 91, then they'd have to kick from 91 over to the Mass Pike, back up from Springfield and get here on 295, or whatever it is out there, that highway out there beyond left field. So they've got quite a ride. Southington, Connecticut's probably, an hour and 15 minutes from here, an hour and a half, maybe tops.
Yeah.
Strike 3 called. First strikeout of the game for Jason Carr.
And if you're this Vermont team, you're not going to get it done with strikeouts and pop-ups. Got to hit the ball down and hard and put some pressure on the defense here.
And Christian Thompson comes up, the right fielder, for the first time this afternoon. This game got underway just about 12 noon, slightly under it. Carr kicks and deals way inside. Bending back is Christian Thompson. American flag waving proudly to the right. It's hanging on a pole that's down the right field line. So the wind is blowing from left field to right field right now. There's a shot down the left field line. That could be extras. It's running into that corner is Green. Here goes the runner to second. He's rounding third, and he's heading home. And Brattleboro, Vermont has their first run of the tournament on a double down the left field line by Christian Thompson, and it's now 2-1. That's that no man's land area there that's caused a little bit of havoc so far in this tournament, down that left field line, down where the bullpen is.
Yeah, and it looked like Green kind of undercutted it, then had to make his way back towards the fence. You know, if you round it and belly the turn and you cut that ball off, you get a better angle at getting to it.
In any event now, with one out, there's a runner at second. Jack Price comes up, and we got a 2-1 ball game. He tries to bunt, and it's tipped into the catcher's mitt. There's now a runner on second. Christian Thompson comes up with a big RBI single.
You know, it looked like Mercier will hold the bag, so you got to assume Carrar is going to have to cover the right side if they bunt. So they won't now, 0-2.
Seems like they're bird dogging that guy at second base a lot up the middle, leaving some little bit of wide holes between first and second and short and third. They don't want the runner to get to third base with less than 2 outs. Here's the pitch. There's a check swing, ground ball to Kanish. Avancha at first baseman gets it over to Carrar for the out. The runner Thompson goes over to third, so score that one a 3-1. With 2 outs, up comes the top of the order. Jeremy Rounds comes up. He got an infield single his first time up. There's 4 umpires in the game out there on the field. They will have that many throughout the tournament. And here's the pitch in there for a strike to Rounds. Rounds got that infield single as he hit it towards the shortstop, I believe, his first time up. A lot of those inside, off the handle rollers in the infield. Carrar kicks and deals the 0-1. Way inside, hit him off the back. So that's the second hit batter of the game for Vermont and Carrar. People are probably saying, what is it with these Connecticut pitchers, right? I mean, there was 3 hit batters in the first game. Now there's 2 already. And a couple of innings here in the second game. See how Vermont plays this with first and third and 2 outs. and see how Southington plays it as well. Is now Avancha finally goes back to first base to hold the runner on. Somebody had to remind him of that.
Still no damage here. You know, you just got to get it out here. You got 2 outs.
Yep.
If you're a car here, get a ground
Frost. And the ball's low to Christopher Frost, who got hit into a fielder's choice last inning. Carr now. He's been going from the stretch the whole game, so nothing unusual for him. Fastball fouled into the netting in front of us. Counts even at 1-1. Runner didn't go. Maybe they want to leave that hole on the right side, because last time Frost did hit a ground ball in that area. And he kicks and the runner goes. Here's the line drive, base hit to left field, and the game is tied. So Christopher Frost gets an RBI single, scoring Christian Thompson. And just like that, the game is tied up at 2. And Vermont continues to have runners at first and second base. Their 4th hit of the game for Brattleboro, Vermont. Up comes Daniel Petrie. Try to put them ahead. Petrie kicks up grabs some dirt from the ground and rubs it in his hands, and he's ready to go. Not wearing any batting gloves. Flied out to left his first time out. Carr deals fastball outside for a ball. Well, no activity in Southington's bullpen. Carr looks into Panarella, giving multiple signs with the runner on second base. There's a slow chopper fouled on the third baseline, fielded by the post-5 third base coach. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning, we're all tied at 2. Here's the pitch. Line shot, base hit to left. Green will have it. They're sending the runner. Here comes the throw. Did they get him? Yes, they're saying he's out. He didn't slide, and they tagged him out. So that was a throw from all the way from left field by, it was
Sean Crane.
Sean Crane throws it all the way in. So there was a base hit to left field. Then the runner on second, Jeremy Rounds, was out. Scored that one 7-2. And a great play by Sean Crane with a perfect throw to prevent the extra run. But for Brattleboro, Vermont, in the bottom of the second inning, they come up with 2 big runs on a total of 4 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 runners, well, 1 runner rather, on base. We'll be right back with the top of the top of the third. Check that. After this, we're all tied at 2.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to
the top of the third, up comes Jeremy Mercier. And he fouls the first pitch from Adam Newton. So it's 0-1. Well, Vermont struck back.
Yeah, this Vermont team not giving up, and The pitcher will talk to the umpire really quick. Wonder what that's about.
Well, it could be maybe the catcher got hit and they wanted to give him a break. I don't know. Certainly isn't showing any ill effects of the foul ball. Big bag of rosin behind the mound.
Yeah, I was watching
See that.
Little League World Series yesterday, Texas, Oklahoma, and the kid who came in to pitch, he was playing with that rosin bag. I was like, what, has he never seen a rosin bag before? It was like he was amazed by it.
Yeah, that was a pitch that looked like a slider, and they called it a strike, and the fans here from Southington don't like it. Same pitch that was outside.
That's our crowd, Mike, picking up some of the chatter and banter from the peanut gallery.
Wow. They have a vested interest. High sky fly ball to left field. Surrounding it is Frost, and he makes the catch. So Mercier is out. Fly ball. Kyle Liefert, hit by a pitch, scored a run in the first inning, is now up. With a 1 out, we're all tied at 2. 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on base for Southington, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 3 left on base for Brattleboro, Vermont's post 5. And here's the pitch. Good, nice one. It's a strike. And there's a pop-up foul out of play. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Colchester, Vermont is where they played that Vermont championship this year. And Brattleboro's post 5 earned back-to-back wins over SD Ireland to win the championship. Another one fouled off. Brattleboro had lost early in the tournament. They had to beat, so they had to win 2 games at the end, and SD Ireland was in the winner's bracket unbeaten. Brattleboro had to win 2 over them, and they did. So they've battled to get here. As Liefert now is with a 1-2 count. Hard smash, line drive to the shortstop. Are they going to say he caught it? No, they are. Scored that one in L6, 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 3rd. Well, in their 2 games where they defeated SD Ireland, you know, Brattleboro scored 3 times in the top of the 1st in the 2nd game. They led 4-0 in the 4th when there was a couple of runs scored by SD Ireland, but they won that 2nd game 5-2, claiming their 2nd American Legion title in a total of 4 years. Brattleboro's been here. That one I usually see. Sometimes I'll see Bennington, Vermont. Or the one way up north in Burlington, Vermont. And there's another team that's right on the border there that we've seen a number of times too. There's a fly ball on the left field line. It's going to be foul, but chasing gets the left fielder and he doesn't get it. So Panarella stays alive. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Josh. Great baseball atmosphere in this park. You know, press box up on top. Over there, a great concession stand along the back side of the first base side of the stands up above. Places to sit and eat and watch. High tables. Curveball, they're going to call that one a strike. Panarella doesn't like it. He got on his first time up, and he's the one that caused that error. It was like a ground ball to the pitcher, and there's a chopper fouled on the 3rd baseline. And the ball was thrown down the right field line, which allowed Southington to score their first 2 runs. I don't know. See, I think a run is earned if the pitcher makes the error. I'm not sure. Got to check that one out. Official scorekeeper here at Hanover Insurance Park is Dave Greenleaf, the director of American Legion Baseball in the state of Connecticut. He also doubles as the official scorekeeper here. And he does it at the American Legion World Series in Shelby, North Carolina. 32 teams were in that tournament in Connecticut. Whittled it all the way down, all the way to Stamford and Southington. It's a fly ball on the right field line this time. It's looking like a hooking foul by about 10 feet. Count remains at 2-2 as Panarella now pulls it, hits it the other way. Now he's due for one up the middle.
Yeah, he's hitting the ball all over the place right now.
You know, running up the pitch count of Adam Newton, who's got some new life as his team got 2 runs back for him in this game. Looks like some rain clouds above us, but there is enough blue sky in there. It looks like it'll last for at least this game. As it poured here, right in between the 2 games. A very short-lived downpour. Way up high, Panarella just wiggles his head a little bit. You know, sort of woke him up a bit. Newton winds and deals. Payoff pitch, and they're saying that's a strike 3 called. Panarella knew it, just walked away from home plate. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base for Southington in the top of the 3rd. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. We're all tied up at 2.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you...
Well, welcome back to this American Legion Northeast Regional Tournament game between Southington, Connecticut, and Brattleboro, Vermont, and leading it off for Brattleboro in the bottom of the 3rd is Tyler Millerick. Apologized to him for getting his name pronounced wrong his first time up. I thought it was Milovich, the way the handwriting was on the scorecard. Corrected to Millerick as he steps up now for the 2nd time today. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. We're all tied up at 2 between Southington, Connecticut, the runner-up in Connecticut, versus Brattleboro, Vermont, the champions of the state of Vermont, the Green Mountain State. There's a high fly to left field. Ball in center field doesn't seem to carry that much here in this park. Is 1 pitch and 1 out now.
Yeah, and without that great throw by Sean Crean to the plate, Vermont might have still been out there.
Yeah.
This seemed like they were starting to get hot. Let's see if they could get that momentum back.
Yeah, Adam Newton comes up now. He grounded to 3rd his first time up. Yeah, I mean, they got 4 hits, and they only came away with 2 runs. There's the first pitch strike to Newton. Cut on and missed. That one was looked like a slider of sorts. It was way up and out. And Newton just chased it. Looked good to him. But it wasn't any good, and it's now 0-2 now to Newton. And here's the 0-2. That one lucky didn't swing as that one hits the dirt and goes to the backstop. There's the chant, leave it to the worms. Goes out from the dugout, right? The dirt ball. Jason Cryer pitches that one. That's a blue base hit. Looks like it's off the handle again. That one gets out, makes its way to left field, and 5th hit of the day for Brattleboro, Vermont. They got a 1-out single, and that brings up Jack Pattison, who got an infield single and scored a run last inning. He let it all off for this team. Well, you put it this way, Brattleboro, Vermont, Jim, certainly puts the ball in play.
Yeah.
You know?
Hanging right in here with this Southington team.
They put it in play. They put it in play on the ground. They hit it to the outfield. I mean, they're putting it in play. I mean, that's big. There's a strike. They've only struck out once in this so far.
Yeah, at least both ways. That's good.
Jason Cryer on the mound for this Southington team. Cryer comes set. See if they run on the kick, and they will. There's a fly ball. Looked like it was a hit and run. It's into shallow right field, and coming on to get it is the right fielder, Brendan Cavanaugh, and he had to hurry because that one, when the runner went, they all ran towards second base. And the speedy Cavanaugh makes the play, so there's 2 outs now.
Now batting the first baseman.
Up comes Hunter Beebe, the first baseman, or Beebe, who struck out his first time up. You know what's interesting is I look at a lot of the Vermont hitters. They don't wear, some of them are not wearing batting gloves at all, you know. They just rub that dirt in their hand, old style.
Guess it all just comes down to preference.
Yeah, I guess so. No, you can't put pine tar in an aluminum bat. I guess you could, but it's not going to be like George Brett scenario if you did. There's a strike, unless you get it above the 17 inches. You know, many years ago in Connecticut, they used to make you, it was mandatory to draw a line around your bat at the 17-inch mark. And nothing could be above it. There's ball outside. So we used to have to take all our bats in high school and take a magic marker, measure 17 inches, and make a ring around the bat.
Wow, I never knew that.
Crazy. Yep. There's the ball down low. 2-0 now. To Hunter Beebe. See if they choose to try to do things. The coach certainly is an aggressive coach. He likes to hit and run. There's a chopper down to third baseman Mercier. He backhands it, snaps it on the run. Do they get him with the tag? Yes, they do. So a nice play by Anish Avancha, and the threat from Brattleboro goes by the board. For Brattleboro, Vermont, in the bottom of the 3rd inning, they got no runs, a hit. There's no errors. They left 1 runner on base, their 4th of the afternoon. We'll be back at the top of the 4th inning after these important messages. Stay tuned for more American Legion Northeast Regional Tournament action here on SportingNewsCT.com.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve it.
We're back.
All right, back here in the top of the 4th inning, Ethan McDonough, the second baseman for Southington, comes up to the plate, takes ball 1. Some action now in the Southington bullpen down the right field line. There's a fly ball to right center. Running up and catching it is the right fielder, Christian Thompson. Saw a little bit of glaze from the sun on that one, so see if some of the players start putting on their shades pretty soon. 1 pitch, 1 out here. The top of the 4th brings up Anish Avancha, who popped to second base his first time up.
Now batting the first baseman, number 13, Anish Avancha.
And here's the pitch. Way outside, ball 1. Well, I can't see who that pitcher is down the right field line as the stands block our view. There's a ball up high, so it's 2-0. Is it 2-0? Yeah, it's 2-0. Scoreboard finally moves. And it's upstairs, 3-0. Adam Newton still on the mound for Brattleboro, Vermont. Jack Pattison at third. Tyler, and I'll get it right this time, Millerick down at short. Jeremy Rounds at second. And Hunter Beebe at first. There's a strike. Anish Avancha played stellar in that Connecticut State tournament, especially on defense. The Super Regionals as well. There's strike 2. So after throwing 3 balls, Newton comes back with 2 strikes. Avancha taking all the way. And here's the payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Gotta wonder about that, Jim. You know, the guy comes out, throws 3 balls, then he throws 2 strikes, then he throws the ball. It's like,
yeah, you know, we say once you're down 3-0, it's tough to come back
certainly
and
is.
throw 3 strikes.
Yeah, the odds are just not with you. And up comes Brendan Kavanaugh, struck out his first time up. This Southington team, they will try to bunt you. They will try to run on you. It's cut on and missed is that pitch.
Okay.
Brendan Kavanaugh. Graduated this year from Southington High. Said most of the players here did go to Southington High. Avancha, down at first, attends Brandeis University.
I'm pretty sure this Southington team has 11 players back from last year's.
They do, yeah. Yeah, they were the defending champs last year in Connecticut. They came to this tournament here last year, and they had 11 players back on that team.
So you got to think they've been here before. You know?
Yeah, yeah. So maybe they know what's necessary to try to win it all. As they have a pitcher warming up, you know, the starter, Jason Cryer, has given up 5 hits, struck out 1. Hit 2, if I'm not mistaken, or is that 1? Hit 1, right. Hit 2 batters he's hit so far. So the count's now 3-1 to Kavanaugh. Yeah, there's some other players on their team that go to college now, graduated last year. One of them is the oldest player on this team, looks like Will Marshall, went to Southern, graduated 2018, as well as Panarella. And there he thought it was ball 4, and the umpire calls him back. You know, that's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to start running down.
Before the umpire makes
Yeah,
the call.
you know, it's almost like, you know, the umpire just thinks sometimes I think they call it a strike whenever the player does that.
Yeah, it was almost like the guy not sliding and then
Yeah.
kind of calling him out at the plate.
Slide step. There's a foul ball, straight
Those
back.
little unwritten rules of baseball.
Yeah. Interesting dugout scenario down here is they have that fence up in front. The players tend to move all their benches up front so they can sit there or stand there. Line shot, base hit the left. Good piece of hitting that time by Brendan Kavanaugh. A laser hit the left field. And now Southington has runners at first and second and 1 out.
Yeah, and Romano will step up. He's 0 for 1 in the day with a ground ball to shortstop.
And now the coach from Brattleboro goes out to talk to this pitcher, Adam Newton. Jake Romano was the player, you may recall, Jim, in that game, that final game where they lost to Southington 1-0.
That ball
He's the
right
one that got the
field.
double in the right center gap. put the potential tying run on base with 1 strike left in their season.
Yeah.
So now they have runners at first and second, 1 out. So up comes Romano, who grounded to short his last time up. Newton slide steps, sliced foul out of play, right side, over the top of the concession stand back there. They have a big tent out there. I actually like that tent. They have that canopy over here. It says American Legion Family Department of Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, that's a nice little setup they got.
Yeah. There's strike 2.
Like you said, though, great atmosphere here at Hanover Insurance Park at the College of Holy Cross.
See who's pitching out there. It looks like, is that a number 1 on that player's back or whatever? Can't tell. Can't see that far with these eyes.
I see number 4.
Check swing, did he go? And they're saying yes, he did. 3rd strikeout of the game for Newton, and now that's 2 outs, and Brandon Cole will come up.
Now batting the center fielder, number 2, Brandon Cole.
Is that a number 4 on the back? Is that Nick Borkowski warming up? We're all tied up at 2 in the top of the 4th. There's the strike. Opening umpire seems to have a wider zone on breaking balls outside than he does on fastballs outside. And there's a kick. They spin and fake a throw to second base. And getting back easily is Avancha. Avancha not known as the base stealer. I assume Brattleboro, Vermont doesn't know that.
Yeah, probably just trying to keep him honest.
Yeah,
too
so
here.
a base hit might not score him. Curveball in there for a strike. Pretty pitch. 2 outs, top of the 4th inning. All tied up at 2 between Southington, Connecticut and Brattleboro, Vermont.
I think that last pitch was some centrifugal Newton force.
Yeah, right. Hard fastball is low. Try to put a little extra mustard on that one. It's 1-2 now to Brandon. And the slide step pitch, swing and missed, and that'll do it. So Southington threatens, but they can't push anything across. They come up with no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They left 2 runners on base, the 3rd and 4th of the game. We're halfway through here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field. We'll be right back for more American Legion baseball action. Stay tuned.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some,
Hanover Insurance Park. We're moving on to the bottom of the 4th. We're all tied up at 2 between Southington, Connecticut and Brattleboro, Vermont. For Brattleboro, Christian Thompson will come up to the plate now. He got a big double back in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, that RBI double.
Yep. Still on the mound is Jason Carr for Southington, and still some activity in the Southington bullpen. Carr throws his first pitch strike. It's a high fly to deep left center. That could be extra bases. It is a bomb. It rolls all the way to the warning track. Going to second and standing there on second base now is Christian Thompson with the second double of the game. The 6th hit of the game for Brattleboro, Vermont.
Now batting the left fielder, number 13,
Jack Price steps up now. See if Brattleboro plays any small ball with their number 9 batter. Remember, Jim, he tried to bunt for a hit his first time up.
Yeah, Riles, and you got to think here, Vermont knocking at the door. Let's see how this Southington team responds.
Yep. Let's see. As they put Anisha Vancha comes way up at first. See what their defense is. He does show bunt. Tries to bunt it. And he misses. So it's 0-1.
Yeah, and Mercer will hold the bag, so you got to think Carr
Yeah.
is going to have to defend the right side of the infield.
Yep. And McDonough's going to have to really hustle to get the first because he's holding his spot now in case there is a fake bunt slash. And he shows bunt early.
Spin turn, trying to catch the runner
Yeah,
off guard
tried
at
to
second.
run a play. Fake bunt. Maybe they can spin. Batter showing bunt very early. And as the first pitch is down low, you really want to throw it a little high and outside. So maybe you'll pop it up to the first baseman or the pitcher. Straddling off second base is Thompson with nobody out. There's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
Levancho will move him back farther.
They're telling him to stay where he is. They think that the bunt sign's still on. He is showing bunt. Why he would show it that early is beyond, you know. He does. This is a beauty. Up the third baseline. Carrara gets it. He throws it away. And a run will score. And now the bunter will get to second base. And that's the benefit of small ball. An error by the pitcher. And Brattleboro, Vermont takes a 3-2 lead. And Jack Price, who bunted it, is now down to second base.
Jeremy Rounds.
And there's still nobody out.
How about Christian Thompson, though? 2 doubles on the day and just putting that pressure on. And then
Yep. Well, look at it this way. They also had Price showing bunt with 2 strikes.
2 strikes and him getting it down. You
And
know,
he
you don't
showed
see
it
that
early.
very often. Usually with 2 strikes, they pull it off, not trying to
Yeah.
foul it and get called out.
But then he bunted a beauty up towards the third base side, which forced the pitcher to get it in a hurry.
Yeah.
You know, and he had to hurry it up, and sometimes when you hurry it up, you end up throwing it away. And we saw that in the first inning by Brattleboro's pitcher where he threw a ball away. Now we have Southington's pitcher throwing one away.
I don't know. It was almost like they should have just had Mercer up too, because you knew they were bunting. Have the shortstop cover third base. The guy on second.
There's
They're gonna bunt
another
again.
bunt. This one's for a base hit. Mercier will have to hurry. They don't get him. So Brattleboro, Vermont showing the benefit of small ball. See, they'll score that one a hit, I believe.
Yep.
They're calling that a base hit by Jeremy Rounds.
Chris Frost.
And I tell you, Brattleboro really putting on a bunt show here. As they're safe again, and the runners at first and third, and if anything like their prior time with a runner on first and third, with nobody out, don't think they won't bunt again for a safety bunt or so.
Go, boys, come on.
Or they're going to wait for the runner to get down to third. So, Brattleboro, Vermont, and small ball really shakes things up. And Southington now trails it 3-2, and there's nobody out. Runners at first and third. Carrar kicks and deals. The runner doesn't go. There's a strike, and that time the catcher Panarella actually reached back over the inside part of the plate to catch that when he was setting up outside. Straddling off first is Rounds. You think he's got to be going sooner or later. He is the leadoff hitter. Swing and a miss. The number 2 batter, Frost. Look
Hey,
for him to go now.
Definitely want him on second base. Eliminate that double play ball. Put another guy in running score position.
I think what he did was he might have given Rounds 1 pitch to try to pull it between first and second. Then after that, he's going to say to him, okay, you got to do something else. I don't know. Maybe not. It's hard to prognosticate sometimes. Runners on first and third, nobody out. And the runner doesn't go. Here's the pitch. Ground ball towards short. 2 hopper, 1 over to second. Back to first, they won't get him. And another run scores. So it's 6-4, fielder's choice, and it becomes an RBI. Price scores, and the score now is 4-2 in favor of Brattleboro, Vermont. So that's what small ball does for you. It puts runners in scoring position. You don't have to get an out.
Catcher number 15, Dan Petrie.
And you end up with a scenario where you couldn't turn 2 on the lefty batter. It's awful tough. And out to the mound goes the manager, and that's going to be all for Jason Krar. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is after these important messages. Stay tuned.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out.
The new pitcher on the pitching plate out there is Nick Borkowski. Comes on in relief of Jason Krar. Krar still responsible for the runner at first, 1 out. And a runner on first, and Southington trailing it by the score of 4-2. And there's a pitch way outside, ball 1. Southington jumped out to a quick 2-0 lead. And then Brattleboro, Vermont, in the bottom of the second, tied it up with 2 of their own. And now they've gone ahead here with 2 more. As Borkowski looks in for the sign from Panarella, and here's the pitch. It's outside, ball 2.
Yeah, Borkowski already falling behind here. You got to be throwing strikes.
Big lead at first base now by Frost. As Borkowski kicks, cut on and missed. The number 3 hitter, Dan Petrie, singled to left his last time up, and he also flied to left. Look for Vermont to keep on running. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Big lead at second. Here he goes first. Here he goes. There goes the runner. Ground ball to short. He'll have to go to first base. Romano gets it over to Anish Avancha for the second out. So that's a fielder's choice. Runner gets to second base. Score that one a 6-3 because the runner was going. Tyler Millerix comes up now. Hit by a pitch, fly to center. So this Vermont team likes to move runners along, likes to run, likes to bunt. I'm telling you, their proficiency in bunting is really good.
Yeah, very impressive this past inning.
Yeah. You know, bunting is really a lost art for the most part, even on the high school level. Coaches don't feel like they want to give up an out. But here, if you put it in the right place, they can start rallies. They don't always end in an out if you put it to the right spot. And even in this game, you've seen the batter really showed bunt early. It's like, here, I'm going to bunt it. And what are you going to do about it?
They couldn't do anything.
It wasn't like it was a surprise bunt. And he bunts it in the right spot, and it's difficult for a pitcher to make that play. And, you know, that's all you need is they start throwing the ball around, and that's what you got, a 4-2 score. There's a strike now. So it's 2-1.
And a single and 2 guys on from 2 bunts.
Yep. 2-1 now to the right-handed swinging Millerick. There's a hard ground ball to second, 2 hopper. down to McDonough. That should do it. Over to Avanchin, that does. So the side is retired here for Brattleboro, Vermont in the bottom of the 4th. So Brattleboro comes up with 2 runs on 2 hits. There was an error, and they left 1 runner on base, their 5th of the game. So after 4 complete innings, the score, Brattleboro, Vermont 4 and Southington, Connecticut 2.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans.
Okay, for Southington here, they got the top of the order in the 5th inning. They trail it by the score of 4-2. Sean Crean steps up. He started it all off with an infield single, scored a run back in the 1st. There's a base hit to right field, so Crean gets it going. It gets by the right fielder. Crean rounds first. He's heading for second, and he'll have a stand-up double by Sean Crean. Gets it going for his team here in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, and he's 2 for 3 on the day, Crean.
Yep. Brings up Jeremy Mercier. Well, they only trail it by 2. It's not certainly nowhere near an insurmountable lead.
Yeah, and I saw this Southington team come back from a 2-0 deficit and score 5 runs in the top of the 7th, so you can never count these guys out.
That was that game against Bristol, I believe, at Rotary Field in South Windsor. And what is it? Tri-County's up there in Concord, New Hampshire, right, from Connecticut, playing the Junior League game. Right, the Junior Northeast Regionals.
Tri-County.
Tri-County was the victor in the Connecticut State Championship game.
For Junior League.
Yep. First pitch is a ball to Mercier, flied out and struck out. There's a hard ground ball to third, backhanded but bobbled by the third baseman. Long throw to first, gets him. So good recovery by the third baseman, Pattison.
Yeah, that was hit
to make
so
the play.
hard at him
Yep.
that all he had to do was knock it down and then make the throw.
And then on that, I'm surprised, though, that on second base, that Crean didn't try to get off further to try to tempt that third baseman to look at him again.
Yeah, at least
give him a
slow
look.
him down.
Right. Because if he looks at you, he might turn and throw it away and see if you can get to third. So you got to put the pressure on him. But in any event, we have 1 out now and a runner on second and Crean. Kyle Leifert comes up. He lined out to short, was hit by a pitch, scored a run. Here's the pitch, up high, ball 1. That time it looked like Christian Thompson, the right fielder, on the Crean at-bat, had undercut the ball and allowed it to get by him in right field, which allowed the double instead of a single. There's a slicing foul ball back across the concession stand over there. A lot of different foods they're selling over there, that stand. They even have, what, chicken fingers?
Yeah. I had some chicken fingers
chicken
before.
fingers, yep. With cheese? Or no?
With
just ketchup.
Honey mustard.
Honey mustard, okay. Line shot to center field. It's down in the outfield, and runners are now at first and third. So Kyle Leifert hits a laser to center. 4th hit of the day now for Southington. They got runners at the corners with 1 out. Up comes the catcher, Josh Panarella. Panarella 0 for 2. On the day, struck out and grounded back to the pitcher who threw it away. So got on base, but he's still 0 for 2. Let's see what they do here. Is Leifert not known as a base stealer?
Say 7.
He's off the bag. Panarella offers it the first pitch and almost hits a bird, right?
Yeah, the bird was sitting on the net.
Bird was sitting on the netting, the wire of holding up the netting here, the backstop, and the ball went close and just knocked the bird right off his perch. So Panarella, he hits a high fly to center field. That should be deep enough to score a run. Should score Crean rather easily. We got a 4-3 ball game. Now the runner on first tagged up, and he slides and gets to second. Hustling play by Kyle Leifert to get into scoring position. So a sac fly RBI by Panarella scores a run. And Crean comes across, so it's 4-3 with a runner still on second, but there's 2 outs. Ethan McDonough comes up. Ethan had grounded to short. Fielder's choice back in the first fly to right.
Yeah, and this Southington team just knowing how to chip away. They're never out of it. So
Yep, and here's the pitch. Put on and missed.
if you're this Brattleboro team, you got to add more when you come up next inning.
Well, you always want to stay on top. They got their 2 runs, 2 in the second, 4 runs, 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth. And here's the pitch, curveball outside. 385 feet in straight center field. I tell you, that's a bomb if you hit it out there. And there's the ball up high. We have had 2 home runs here today, 1 in right field, 1 in left field. Not in this game, but in the prior game, which was an 11-1 blowout by Rhode Island over Stamford, Connecticut. There's a foul ball behind, so it's still 2-2 now to Ethan McDonough. His time is called, and catcher wants to go out and talk to the pitcher now. So Petrie maybe giving him some words of encouragement or telling him, hey, just throw the pitch I call, will you? We don't know if he's acting like Crash Davis on that exchange.
Yeah.
You know? Crash Davis.
Yeah, Crash
Kevin
Davis
Costner
would
movie. With
tell
Bull
the batter what pitch is coming if you don't throw the pitch he wants.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a fastball coming.
You think the batter might think he's lying, right?
Yeah. Definitely a lot of great baseball movies out there.
There's a fly ball down the right field line. Chasing it's the right fielder, Thompson, and he makes the catch to retire the side right at the foul line down there. So for Southington here in the 5th, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1 runner left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 5th to score now. Brattleboro, Vermont 4, Southington, Connecticut 3. Stay tuned for more American Legion baseball action here from SportingNewsCT.com.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org.
Well, a complete cloud cover now over Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field here in Worcester, Massachusetts. As Brattleboro, Vermont hangs on to a 4-3 lead. They'll bat here in the bottom of the fifth after the public address system had the playing of America, God Bless America.
Looks like we have some action in the Brattleboro
bullpen. Just in case they're getting somebody up. Leading it off here for Brattleboro, Vermont is Adam Newton, the pitcher. He's singled and grounded to third. First time facing Borkowski, and he takes strike one. Spitz gets back in the batter's box.
Yeah, and let's see if putting in Borkowski ends up paying off here for Southington. You know, if they could hold this Brattleboro team to only 4 runs, they might have a shot at winning this.
They got 6 outs left to do it, right? So, and they got the bottom of the order coming up in the 6th. They have to get at least 1 runner on in order to bring up the top of the order in the 7th. There's the pitch. They call it a ball. So it's now here comes the deluge again here at Hanover Insurance Park as the fans scramble like crazy.
Look at Borkowski. He's not even phased. Everyone's running off.
Sliced into the netting and you're waiting for the home plate umpire to tell everybody. Why do they wait? You know, they see it pouring. Just get them off now so you don't have to get everybody soaked when they come back out. You know? And here's the pitch. Curveball in there for strike 3 called.
Now batting the third baseman, number 8, Jack Addison.
Now comes up the third base.
What you can't see?
No, I can see now. There was an umbrella in front of me. So Newton strikes out, looking. Jack Pattison now, infield single fly to right, and that one goes flying away. Well, maybe the umpires knew more than we did. Rain seems to be letting up slightly, although it's still coming down. The question is, for how long is it going to come down?
Yeah, hopefully it holds off.
Yep. Borkowski on the mound for Southington. There's a ground ball towards the middle, and it get past Jake Romano. Just has too much speed on it off these aluminum bats, and that does it through the middle, and Patterson's aboard with a hit. That is the 9th hit of the game for Brattleboro, Vermont. And up comes Hunter Beebe now, struck out, grounded to third. So the rain is let up just a little.
Get the towels off. You're going to have to dry up these baseballs. Keep them nice and dry for the pitcher.
Get that rice bucket. Slight foul.
Woo.
Third baseline. EC, I guess you'd call it. The first base coach bobbling that one. 1 out, runner on first. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brattleboro, Vermont hanging on to a 4-3 lead. Runner on first, Jack Pattison straddling off. He got about a 3-step lead. Borkowski deals. Now the rain picks up again. And then it slows down again. So you get that drenching shower, and then all of a sudden it'll stop.
Yeah, it looks like once this cloud moves through on our screen, we might...
It's a high fly ball to right center. Going over is Kavanaugh.
Might have some clear skies.
Up comes Christian Thompson. He's been the big bat here today for Brattleboro with 2 doubles. 2 runs scored. And I'll tell you, they got to pitch him carefully now. 2 outs, the runner on first in the name of Jack Pattison. Borkowski came on in relief in the middle of last inning as they're swinging a miss now. So both those doubles were off Jason Krar.
Yeah, and the third base coach telling Thompson here, hit that curveball the other way.
Cut on and missed as he tried to pull that one. Now let's see if he runs the runner with 2 strikes. Save Thompson's at bat. He's the big bat for them today. Let's see if Southington figures that out. Runner doesn't go. And there's the ball up high. It was a delayed steal. And it was a steal, but it was a delay. And Southington gets caught just a little bit napping, and that's the effect of that delayed steal. That's why that's so effective. Is the runner just breaks off and starts going to second before you realize it. And there's nobody there to throw it to. And he just throws a hard fastball in the dirt.
That was great execution, and then great stop there by Panarella.
Yeah, definitely.
Allowing the guy to get to third.
2 balls, 2 strikes now to Christian Thompson. If he should get him, it doesn't matter what they steal. But I tell you, this Vermont team has an array. See, that's the advantage of having, a lot. They have time to practice. You're not playing 50 games in the summer. You can work on your offense and defense. And they certainly are a very, very proficient team at what they're trying to do, whether it be bunting, running, hitting. Everything is, coordinated very well for that team. Here's the payoff pitch now with first base open to Thompson. Curveball in there, strike 3 called as Southington starts walking off the field before the call. And they were right, as it was the second strikeout of the inning for Borkowski. And that'll retire the side for Brattleboro, Vermont here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner left on base. That's their 6th of the game. We'll be right back at the top of the 6th inning. Brattleboro, Vermont still holding on to a slim 4-3 lead.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom.
Maybe. All right, back here at Hanover Insurance Park. The sun has broken its way back out as Anish Avancha comes up. He lines one to center field. That's going to come on. It gets by the center fielder. Avancha rounds first. He'll be heading to second. The right fielder has to retrieve the ball, and Avancha will be on second base, and it looks like they'll score that one. A base hit and an error.
Yeah, Riles, and if you're this Vermont team right now, that's the worst case scenario. You want to just keep that in front of you, keep it a single. Now you got the tying run on second base. That's a big hit for Anish Avancha.
Yeah. And on top of it, Brandon Cavanaugh has one of their hits.
Yeah, he's 1 for 2 on the day. It looks like we'll have a pinch runner here, number 10.
Okay. See if I can figure out who he is.
I have it right here.
Yep.
Tyler Strong will be pinch running for Anish Avancha on second.
Now pinch running number 10, Tyler Strong.
See, we got that before the public announcer.
Yes. So Strong, the pinch runner, as Cavanaugh takes that, he looks bunt. They throw all the way down to second, but they won't get the runner.
Wow, and the third baseman actually slipped on the grass.
Yeah, if
coming in on that bunt.
It's going to be ball 1 on that play.
We had a quick little sprinkler system go on and wet down that infield grass. Got to be careful.
Well, that third baseman's going to have to anchor or else they'll steal third. And he's showing bunt early, maybe too early. Here's the pitch, and it's way up high, ball 2.
Yeah, he's falling behind here.
See if they keep the bunt on. It looks like they will. is that's the tying run at second base. I suppose you got to tie before you can win it. And here it is. Newton still on the mound. He throws it. This looped up foul up the first baseline. As that's the worst place to put it theoretically.
Yeah, you want to get that down the
third
baseline.
Third baseman was anchoring. That's Jack Pattison at third. Tyler Millerick at short. Jeremy Rounds at second. And Hunter Beebe at first. Beebe was charging on that. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike now to Brendan Cavanaugh. Struck out, got a single previously today. And here's the 2-1 pitch. And he shows bunt again. Another bunt up the first baseline. He misses again. And now there's 2 strikes on him. And it looks like they're going to take the bunt off. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Brendan Cavanaugh. And coach from Southington not willing to take that risk of another foul ball bunt and an out. Cut on and missed. Strike 3. Cavanaugh goes down swinging. Newton got him with a hard fastball.
Yeah, well, we'll see if that comes back to bite Southington. You know,
Yeah.
you saw Vermont put that bunt down 0-2.
Yep.
And
they come away empty, and that brings up Jake Romano. Romano struck out and grounded out. Newton checks the runner at second. That's Strong, the pinch runner. He spins and throws to second. They almost got him. It was close. One thing you always try to do is pick off a pinch runner, right?
Yeah.
Especially if he's an underclassman, right? And here's the pitch. Curveball in there. Pretty pitch. Oh, 0-1 now. Pops it up in the infield. This is way up there. Calling for it's the shortstop, Millerich, and he makes the catch. So now there's 2 outs. The runner on second. Tyler Strong on second base. He's already graduated from Southington High. 5'9", 175-pounder from Southington. Brings up Brandon Cole, who walked and struck out. And here's the pitch. Curveball in there for a strike. Adam Newton throwing a lot of strikes here today. He has hit 1 batter, walked 2, struck out 4, gave up 4 hits. Well, more than 4. We'll get that in a minute. Can't see that scoreboard out there with the sun glaring on it.
What are you looking for?
The number of hits for
I think it's
Southington.
9 hits for
9 hits for Brattleboro.
Brattleboro, 7
Yeah,
hits for
7
Southington.
for Southington, right?
Both have 1 error.
Yep. Brattleboro I thought had 2, but could be wrong. And there's the ball down low. Brattleboro should have had 1 by the center fielder, allowing the ball to go past them, and then 1 in the first inning, right?
You're right.
And the scoreboard only says 1. You're right. Well, here's the 2-1 pitch now to Cole. Way up high, 3-1. Sean Crean on deck, who doubled his last time up and singled his first time up. Wrapped around a strikeout. He's 2 for 3. Scored 2 runs. No activity in the Vermont bullpen. None now in the Southington bullpen. Way out. Well, it's outside enough to be ball 4, though. As third walk of the game issued by Newton, and now there's runners on first and second. That's going to bring out a visit by the manager from Brattleboro, Vermont. He wants his entire defense to come in. Maybe there's a pick play coming up. Because why else would you be talking to everybody with 2 outs?
Yeah.
You know? If anything, the more guys that talk to the pitcher, the more nervous you make the pitcher, I would think. Right? So maybe they're talking about defensive alignment here with 2 outs. I don't know, but they got Sean Crean up, and they're trying to maybe stall it for Crean, make him think about it, because now the home plate umpire walks out to the mound slowly.
And Crean 2 for 3 on the day. A single, a strikeout, and a double.
And a stolen base to boot.
Yep.
He's done his job.
Well, 1-2.
Quite frankly, I don't know where they got 7 hits on the board for Southington. It just doesn't match up, but either way. Green rips at the first pitch, fouled on the right field line. Let me see. They got 1 in the first, none in the second, none of the third, 1 in the fourth.
I got 5.
Yeah, I had 5 hits. 2, 3, 1. There's the ball outside the Cream. Yeah, it's 5 hits for Southington. 7, even though the scoreboard says it. There's a slice down the right field line, foul into the stands, the bleachers, which are beyond the box seats they have here, or regular individual seats. Individual seats all the way around the dugouts, then down the right field line, and a little down the left field line, and they have bleachers above that. Here's 1 ball, 2 strike now, a critical point in this game, and here's the delivery. Curveball up high, it's 2-2. Southington trails it by a lone run, 4-3. They have a runner on second, 2 outs, top of the 6th inning. Another foul ball. Green battling and battling. The St. Paul High School of Bristol product, Sean Crean. I think he had an older brother who played for St. Paul as well. Adam Newton trying to shut the door. There's a ground ball to deep short. Backhand against the second baseman. Will he get him? They're saying he did. Oh, that's going to be a close one. They're saying that the force happened. Great play by the shortstop. Great force by that. And Southington comes up empty here in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave. What is it, 2 runners on base or 1 runner on base? 5 runners left on base.
107.
We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Southington still trails it by 1 run as Brattleboro leads at 4-3.
Life in the military is one of service and sacrifice. And for some, that sacrifice is more than many of us can imagine. Please join with the American Legion in recognizing and supporting our wounded warriors and their families. Let's not allow them to be forgotten and left to fend for themselves. They deserve more. Sometimes just thank you isn't enough. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America.
Back here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts. Brattleboro, Vermont leads it by the score of 4-3. They're coming up now in the bottom of the 6th. There are some defensive changes for Southington. Because of the pinch runner, there is no re-entry rule in the Northeast Regionals, so Anish Avancha is done for the day. The right fielder, Brendan Cavanaugh, has gone to play first base, and the substitute runner has gone, the runner who came in for Anish Avancha will play right field. That's Tyler Strong, and the first pitch to the number 9 hitter, Jack Price, is ball 1. There's a strike on the inside part of the plate from Borkowski, who prior to the inning only had 22 pitches. He came on a relief of the starter, Jason Farrar. And there's the ball that goes to the backstop. Southington got 2 runs in the first. Brattleboro, Vermont tied it up, 2 in the bottom of the second. Then they went ahead, by 2 in getting 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Southington got 1 back in the 5th, and that's where we are, 4-3, bottom of 6. There's a strike, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's
now,
a pretty curveball by Borkowski.
Yeah,
Really
nice
able
tight spin.
to get that one in there, keeping batters off balance.
This is the batter you want to get. The number 9 guy checks, swings, and pops it up in the infield. Second baseman, McDonough calls for it and makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down here in the 6th, bottom of the 6th. Jeremy Rounds comes up. Rounds has been on base all 3 times here today. He's got an infield single to lead off the game, was hit by a pitch, then got a bunt single in the 4th. And here's the first pitch from Borkowski to him, is up high for ball 1. And there's a fastball in there for a strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Good hard fastball from Borkowski, gets right past the bat of Jeremy Rounds. Here's the 1-2. Did he go? They're going to say he did not. So it's 2-2 now. Cloud cover comes over, so it's a little bit darker here, which makes the scoreboard a little clearer, right?
Yeah, with that glare from the sun,
Yeah.
it was hard to see.
And here's the 2-2. This flied or flared, I should say, down the right field line. That'll be foul right into the bullpen down there.
I wonder what those guys are doing standing down
Yeah.
there on the right field line.
It looks like they're part of the grounds crew getting the tarp on top of the relief mound. Just in case.
Yep. We still got some action down the left field line in their bullpen for Vermont.
Yep, just in case they need a new pitcher. Still 2-2 now to Rounds.
You got to think Newton's law has been working pretty well. So
Yeah, it has. Another slicer into the nets. See, that's what we should have at our home park, Jim, where we coach high school baseball, is this netting all the way around.
Yeah,
so we don't have to
save the foul balls from going into the
Yeah, and it
woods.
saves a lot of grief of kids having to run and shag foul balls who get all upset, you know.
Definitely helps out the game.
There's another one into the net.
I think I want that that indoor batting cage up at Rotary Field.
Up in the South Windsor, yeah. 2-station batting cage they have right next to the field. It's actually enclosed in a building that they raised the funds for and then created or manufactured. There's a ground ball back to the mound. Borkowski gets it, and he'll underhand it to first to Kavanaugh. And there's 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Brings up Chris Frost. He's 1 for 3 on the day. 2 RBIs, 1 on a single, 1 on a fielder's choice. So grounded to short, grounded it to second, and single. Brattleboro, Vermont, employing a lot of different tactics. Small ball, bunts for hits, hit and runs, delayed steal, and so on. And they really came through here today so far. And it's a strike now to the lefty, Chris Frost. Looking ahead to the top of the 7th inning, Southington will have their 2, 3, and 4 batters up. That'll be Mercier, Leifert, and Panarella. There's a bloop out to the second baseman, and it makes the easy play. Well, that's going to do it here for Brattleboro, Vermont. They go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 6th. Can Southington, Connecticut do it, or will Brattleboro, Vermont advance in the winner's bracket? Stay tuned to find out after this.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient, and unemployed. The unemployment rate among transitioning service members is unacceptably high, much higher than the general population. Veterans are a proven commodity. They're mature, reliable, and hardworking, and they deserve a chance to get back to work after serving their country. Do you really want to honor a veteran? Hire one. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help. America, meet Greg Anderson. Served 2 tours in it.
Well, we just got back, and there is going to be a pitching change for this Vermont team. The shortstop, Tyler Millerick, will be going in to pitch, and Adam Newton will be moving to shortstop. So the book is closed on Newton today.
Book is closed on Newton. Did a nice job, Jim. Gave up 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 hit batter, but more importantly, gave up only 3 runs. And now his teammate, Tyler Millerich, will try to close the door here on Southington, who brings up their 2, 3, 4 batters.
Jeremy Mercier.
Newton now switches to the shortstop position. So Mercier steps in. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out, fly to left, grounded to third. Rest of the defense still the same for Vermont. There's a pop fly out of play right behind us. Pattison's at third. Already said that Newton's at short. Jeremy Rounds at second. Hunter Beebe at first. Chris Frost still in left. Jack Price in center. And Christian Thompson in right field. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It was way outside. And Mercier knew it.
Yeah, now he falls behind the count, and you got to put the ball in play here down your last 3 outs.
There's a ground ball towards third. Fielding is the third baseman, Pattison. Long throw. Was he off? They're going to say you got him on the side. You got him on the tag. So great play by the first baseman, Hunter Beebe. And Mercier's out 5-3, and they're going to say he touched him on his chest.
Yeah, and that's a tough one. Maybe if he slides head first, he's able to get in there. But that's such a hard play to know when you're running down that first baseline whether that throw is going to be off and you have to slide. Well,
1 out now, and Kyle Leifert comes up, the designated hitter. He's been on base twice. Singled, was hit by a pitch, line to short. We're in the top of the 7th inning. There's 1 out. Southington trailing by a run. Here's the pitch, cut on and missed by Leifert, so it's 0-1. There's a floating curveball that they're going to say cut down on the inside part of the plate. Leifert didn't like it, but it's 0-2 now to him. Looked like a floating breaking ball, way outside in the dirt. Not enough to make Leifert tempt to go at it. 1 out. Southington trailing by a single run here in this opening day of the Northeast Regional. The other Connecticut team lost earlier this morning. There's a pitch way outside. It's 2-2. They lost today 11-1 to Cumberland, Rhode Island, which was like a buzzsaw offensively.
Great pitching, too.
Yep, great
giving
pitching.
Up 1 home run in the entire game.
That was the only hit. That was about the only hit, right? They only got 2 hits or 3 hits, I think. Something. There's the pitch outside, so now the count is full on Kyle Leifert. Yeah, they got 4 hits, did Stanford, but only that 1 extra hit was the only run of the game for Stanford was a home run. There's the payoff pitch from Millerich. Cut on and missed. Strike 3. He gets him. They're now, Southington's down to their final out as they start to pop the ball around the infield, and a little pep in their step as Josh Panarella comes up. Got on an error by the pitcher, struck out and sac fly to center field. Panarella does have power and can hit it out of here, believe it or not. So he's hit it out of bigger fields That one being in the Super Regionals
And with
up
a
there.
wood bat.
Yeah, with a wood bat as well. So you got to hit it on the sweet spot in any event. Millerick, rather. First pitch is in there for a strike. It's 0-1 to Panarella. Millerick looks in for the sign. Now he rocks back from the first base side of the rubber. Slow curveball. That one's outside. 1-1. On deck, Ethan McDonough wants to get his at-bats badly. See him getting ready there in the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Panarella. Foul ball back into the screen, so now Southington's down to their final strike of the game.
And you got to think he wanted that one back. He hit that one straight back.
Straight back, which means usually you go to something off speed to try to get the batter on that. That means he's timed the fastball. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Here's the pitch. Slow curve, grounder to third. This could do it. 2-hopper to third baseman Pattison. Long throw to first. Is in the dirt and he's safe. The ball looked like he was dropped by the first baseman.
Now the tying run's on first base.
Yeah. See how they give that error to. They're going to give it to the first baseman or the third baseman? First baseman, so it's going to be an E3.
Now batting the second baseman number
And I have that as the third error of the game for, I don't know how the scoreboard only has up 2, but.
Yeah, McDonough will step up. He's over 3 on the day.
Yeah, McDonough now. Panarella's going to run. Let's see if they take a shot at some point. You might remember in the state title game, at the last out of the game was an actual attempted steal by Southington. There's a ball down low. So it looked like it was going to be a routine 2-hopper to third baseman. With the pressure on, so to speak, it became a drop by the first baseman. Outside, 2-0. And 2 balls, no strikes now to Ethan McDonough. Fly to right twice. Grounded to short. As the sun is back out again with a lot of threatening clouds around this ballpark. Here's the pitch. Way upside. 3-0 now. Gotta believe he's taking.
Yeah, and just when you thought Southington, this was going to be
the
end of it.
Reminds us of our game 2 years ago up in, what was it, Caukenchog, when we had the final out on a strikeout. They fake a steal, and it's ball 4. So McDonough is aboard. What I'm talking about there was we had a game, in a tournament game 2 years ago for Seymour High in Connecticut, where we had the final out of the game was a strikeout and a throw to first. The ball went in the dirt. You had to throw it to first, and that was the end of it. We didn't catch it.
Looks like we'll have a pinch hitter here, Will Marshall.
Yeah, we'll pinch hit for Strong. If I remember right, Will Marshall might have played his baseball at Holy Cross High School. That's my recollection. Big lefty.
Number 9, Will Marshall.
Yeah, and you know, he sat on the bench all day, watched his team play this game out. Now he's going to have a chance to hit in this tying run.
Yeah, he's an older player, if I recall right.
He's the one that likes to whoop and
whoop and holler for his teammates. Yeah,
he's always cheering them on. So let's see if
he could do it himself.
Yeah.
Here's the first pitch coming up to Will Marshall with the tying run. It's second base, and it looks like he told him it was going to be a fastball. Little hint from the runner on second base, Panarella. Brattleboro might want to get their signs together there, as it's 1-0 now to Marshall. And here's the pitch. Up high, ball 2 as the pressure's on. And it seems to be affecting Millerick. Will Marshall goes to Boston University, graduated Southington High in 2018. 6'3", 215 pounds. He's one of the bigger players and older players on this team. As the big lefty, there's a ball in the dirt. It's 3-0. On deck is Brendan Cavanaugh. And now the pressure mounts, as it's going to be tough not to walk Will Marshall. I assume he's clearly going to have the take sign. As Millerick deals right in there for a strike, that automatic 3-0 strike. Now it's 3-1.
It looks like they're going to give the green light here to hit.
I guess
No
even in an
take.
exciting game, it's tough to wake up that early. Here's a ground ball to short. This should do it. He steps on the bag, and the game is over. 6 unassisted. And Millerick does the job and gets the save as Brattleboro, Vermont has won the game by the score of 4-3. And I tell you, Jim, another tough one for a Connecticut team.
Yeah,
Is they both of them going down today in the first 2 games, and Brattleboro, Vermont moves on into the winner's bracket. Winning pitcher will be Adam Newton, the loser Jason Carrar, and both Southington and Stanford will go down into the loser's bracket. Let's see where they're playing tomorrow. I know that Stanford's playing tomorrow at they're playing in the morning. They're playing against the loser of Game 3, which hasn't happened yet. So the loser of Game 2. So Southington's going to be playing the loser of Game 4. So Stanford will play the loser of the next game, and Southington will play the loser of the game that follows that this evening. So for Southington, Connecticut, they got 2 runs in the first, 1 in the 5th, and that was all for them. They had 3 runs on a total of 5 hits. They committed an error. They left 5 on base. Brattleboro, Vermont got 2 in the second, 2 in the 4th. 4 runs on a total of 9 hits. They committed 3 errors and left 6 runners on base. Check that for Southington. They left 7 runners on base because that last inning there was 2 runners on base. Well, I tell you, Jim, this Brattleboro, Vermont team did everything their coach asked them to do with perfection.
Yeah, Riles, Southington jumped out to that 2-0 lead, and Vermont could have packed it up and said, we're going to go home, we don't care. And they fought back. They scored 2 runs in the second. They get 2 more in the 4th, and after that, they just had that comfortable 2-run lead. Southington tries to chip away in the 5th, but just not enough. You got to give it to Borkowski. He tried to come in there, didn't give up any runs. But how about Adam Newton, though? Only giving up 3 runs. And then you had the shortstop Tyler Millerick come in there and just close that out.
Yeah, he had the pressure on him, though.
Yeah,
it seemed like he was
he didn't give it up that easy.
Easy. So for Brattleboro, they now move on to play, and let me see that schedule again. So Brattleboro, Vermont, the winner of Game 1, let's say, plays tomorrow at 4:30. So the winner of Game 1 would be Rhode Island, and the winner of Game 2 now being Vermont. Vermont will play the winner of Game 4, so that's between Maine and the host team. So tomorrow, in the second game of a doubleheader, which begins at 4:30 p.m., Brattleboro, Vermont will play the winner of tonight's game between Maine and the host team, Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. And Rhode Island will play tomorrow against the winner of the game coming up between the New Hampshire champion and Lawrence, Massachusetts, the champion of the state of Massachusetts. And so for both Connecticut teams, they fall down into the loser's bracket. And Stanford will play tomorrow at 9:30. Southington will play right after that. Both teams now playing for their survival in this Northeast Regional Tournament. Well, they expect rain here before 4:30, so they've got the full tarp all over the field now. A good move by this grounds crew. They got the entire field covered for our game coming up at about 4:30 this afternoon. So there's a lot of break in the action here, so to speak. It's the second half of this Northeast Regional opening day will take place at 4:30. Again, the winning pitcher for Brattleboro, Vermont was Adam Newton, the loser Jason Carrar. And for Brattleboro, Vermont, the big hitting star today, in my opinion, Jim, Christian Thompson, right down in the 8th spot in the order. 2 big runs, 2 doubles, and 3 RBIs? Right.
Yep, definitely 2 doubles, 2 for 3 on the day.
Yeah.
Christian Thompson definitely
not bad
play.
for a number 8 hitter in your lineup. The only bright spot, if you look at that from Southington today, is Sean Crean. Scored 2 runs. He got his offense going. So for that Southington team, they need Sean Crean to keep on going, and they got to get some production out of some of the other batters. They only got 4 hits, 2 of them by Crean, 1 by Avancha, and the other one by Kavanaugh, and 1 by Leifert. So I think they got 5 hits on the day. Rather, check that. So that'll do it here from Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field in Worcester, Massachusetts. As we will turn off the stream now, and we'll be back here about approximately 4 say 4:15 or so, with the beginning of the next game actually starting at 4:30. So stay tuned for more Northeast Regional Baseball action here on SportingNewsCT.com. I'm Steve Riley for Jim Varlas. Good afternoon, everybody. One more time, Brattleboro, Vermont 4, Southington, Connecticut 3. Good afternoon.